right, let's hit the field.
It was game 2 of a doubleheader between the Yankees and the Blue Jays, and the final game of the series and of the miniature 3-game homestand. Yankees trying to take the series and sweep the doubleheader. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you had forgotten, that is how you close out a ball game. Dreamweaver, Luke Weaver picking up the save. Well, it's not a save, but he closed out a 4-run lead. Not a guarantee lately. But Yankees sweep the doubleheader. Pretty good day of baseball if you're a Yankees fan. They take this one 5-1, 9 hits. They destroyed the Blue Jays in Game 1, 11-2. We got a pretty good start out of Clarke Schmidt today. A few too many walks. Max Fried was great in his outing. So pitching was solid today. Cruz was great out of the bullpen. Mark Leiter had 3 strikeouts, and Weaver shut it down. Tim Hill was solid. Pretty good day. Aaron Judge ended his home run drought. Jason Dominguez had a pretty good game. Trent Grisham was flexing the dad muscles. And if you watch the game, that Volpe line drive that he hit in the 8th inning, that's what I want to see. Volpe had a couple of hits today, up to 228, so climbing the ladder. That line drive that he hit in the 8th, just a beautiful piece of hitting a rope right over the second baseman's head. That's what I want to see.
More of that, please.
All things considered, the way this series ended, much better than the way the series began after that meltdown on Friday night. And we should have swept, but the Yankees will head to Baltimore feeling good. Everybody except for Devin Williams feeling good. And they now have a record of 17-11. They are 2 games up in the American League East on the Boston Red Sox, 607 win percentage, which is second in the American League behind the 18-10 Detroit Tigers. All right, let's get to the recap.
All right, let's get it going.
Clarke Schmidt pitched into and out of trouble in the first inning. Put a couple of guys on. I thought it was a really good mound visit from Matt Blake, because right after that, Schmidt stuff started to look a lot better. And then the Yankees got things started right away. Trent Grisham in the leadoff spot again and flexing the dad muscles.
See ya. A home run for Grisham.
Mustache ride. All expenses paid, all inclusive, no reservations needed. Michelin certified, complimentary beverage service included. 7 home runs already on the season for Trent Grisham. His second leadoff home run, and it was an absolute nuke. 107.7 off the bat, 401 feet into the right field seats. Game was tied up until the 6th inning, and then Mr. Aaron Judge took care of that. My man, no doubter, opposite field shot. Number 8 on the season for the captain, and he just could not stand for one moment being tied with Trent Grisham in home runs. Beautiful opposite field double by Dominguez in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs and a runner on, and that knocked Bassett out of the game. Dominguez has 7 doubles now. Not too bad. He's also hit some rockets right at people that have gotten caught. I feel like his numbers should be better than they are, although he did get a bloop hit today that should have been a flyout, but the wind took it. It kind of evens out, He did come around to score on a base hit by J.C. Escarra, who had a great day. J.C. Escarra making impressions. Nice job by Tim Hill in relief of Clarke Schmidt. And then Mark Leiter, he really had that split-finger fastball dropping off the table today. That thing was unhittable, but probably not as unhittable as some of the ones that Fernando Cruz that were just defying the laws of physics.
Oh, there goes gravity.
But he had 3 strikeouts. Cruz only had 2. So, maybe Leiter's was better. But everybody in the bullpen today, if you look at the stats here, they've all got a whip under 1. So Tim Hill's at 0.88, Mark Leiter's at 0.97, Fernando Cruz is at 0.93, and Luke Weaver's at 0.57. So these guys are not allowing many base runners, and that's the key to a good bullpen. And, on Friday night, I had Terrence on the show, and we were talking about the best and worst facial hair, and we neglected to mention Mark Leiter, who, despite a great performance today, has some really awful facial hair. He's one of those guys that I think he needs the Harry's razors from Pinstripe Territory. But look, as long as he keeps striking out, he can run any look out there he wants. He kind of looks like the guy who was the great quarterback in your high school, and now he sells stolen scrap metal. That's who he reminds me of. Fernando Cruz, though, lights out, 2 more strikeouts. He's got a 1.80 ERA on the season. You'll take that from a reliever. That's 1 run every 5 innings. And when Loizaga comes back, this bullpen is going to get even better. Bottom 8, they coup de grace Mr. J.C. Escarra. Long home run for his first big league home run, second RBI of the game, and that set things up for our new closer, Mr. Luke Weaver. Now, it's not a save, but he did close it down without any trouble, throwing strikes, being aggressive, exactly what you want. And for the second time today, got some wonderful news. The Yankees win.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Captain Johnny Bravo pointing out the pimp job from JC on his first big league home run. It reminded me a little bit of Aaron Hicks's celebrations when he would hit home runs. I mean, it was beautiful. If I could hit it that far, I'd do the same thing. That was wonderful, and so happy for JC. Just a wonderful, wonderful moment for his career, for his life, for all the hard work he's put in. Driving around as an Uber driver, thinking about this, dreaming about this, and today he's living this. And I hope that he's watching this. We have a lot of candidates for the belt today. Volpe had a couple of hits. Clarke Schmidt was really good. Trent Grisham went deep. Aaron Judge had the go-ahead home run. But for me, J.C. Escarra, if you're watching, today's not only your first home run, it's your first belt. Beautiful, beautiful game from J.C. and a beautiful doubleheader from the Yankees. Really should have swept all 3 games. Like I said, the Friday night loss hurt, but it's a great sign that this team got right back off the mat and delivered 2 wins in a row. The rain out, maybe that reset things a little bit and they were able to kind of shake it off. But regardless, great performance from the Yankees. Okay, let's go ahead and spotlight Mr. Clarke Schmidt. Now, I mentioned he had a couple of walks in the first inning, and then Matt Blake made his mound visit. But after that, I felt like something switched, because his stuff just looked a lot better. He settled down. He struck out Vladdy Jr. with a nasty, disgusting sweeper to end the 3rd inning. Best pitch he's thrown all season, in my opinion. But then next batter was Anthony Santander, and he destroyed one into the second deck or whatever. So, ups and downs, strikes and gutters, as the Big Lebowski would say. Typically, his best pitchers are the cutter and the sweeper, but today I don't think his cutter was really that effective. It was kind of hanging out over the plate, or he would miss out with it. But, still, his last couple of starts have not been great, so he needed something like this. You were hoping that the Blue Jays, who have struggled offensively, would allow him to put some momentum together, get some confidence, and get going in the right direction. A lot of times when someone misses spring training or is behind the team, they struggle to catch up all year. We saw that with Carlos Rodon a couple of years ago. I've heard pitchers say that if you have your spring training disrupted, you just feel like you're behind the 8 ball all year. But it is possible to, put it together, to catch up, but you got to have some games like this where you're gritty. Now, he had 4 walks. That is not ideal, but he pitched around him. I thought it was a good move to get him out of the game, with his confidence still feeling good after 5 innings. and prevent anything further from happening. Now, he has had some trouble in the 6th inning and beyond in his career. So if you get 5 good innings with 1 run out of Clarke Schmidt, you got to call it a day. They did that today. A lot of swings and misses. I mean, he always gets a ton of swings and misses. He had 14 whiffs today. He had 5 in the 1st inning. 90 pitches, 52 strikes, season ERA down to 5.52 on the day. 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Nice performance. Christian Velasquez says, Yankees won both games, and Knicks. What a good day to be a Yankees fan and a Knicks fan. Mets lost on an error. Too bad. Good day for the rest of us. Now, you hope that eventually, if the Yankees do decide to keep him, that the airbender will figure it out. But right now, he has been the one weak spot in the bullpen. The bullpen has been phenomenal. The starting pitching is coming around, and the news that Luis Gil is throwing is certainly excellent because they could use an injection of 100-mile-an-hour fastball into that rotation. And let's talk about this series. Devin Williams, he was launched into the sun. He had a meltdown on Friday. Today, we got the news that basically Aaron Boone has turned the launch keys, used the launch codes. He has lost his closer role. And so Luke Weaver, as we saw today, is going to be closing out games. Yankees crushed the Blue Jays in the middle game. Home run from Volpe, big afternoon from Austin Wells. Another multi-hit game from Aaron Judge, who right now is hitting .406. That's what Ted Williams hit for a whole season. The last time someone hit .400, it was Ted Williams. .406, that's where Judge is right now. Tremendous performance from Max Fried. He's now 5-0 with a 1.43. You have to consider him the early favorite for the Cy Young in the American League, in my opinion. If he keeps pitching like this, I don't see how he's ever going to lose. He's just unhittable right now. Volpe showed signs of getting it going. Hit on Friday night, couple of hits in Game 1, couple of hits in Game 2, capped off by what I think is the type of hit he needs to have. A hard line drive kind of back up the middle towards the right of second base. If he does that, he's going to be a problem. I don't want him thinking home run. And the home run today, he wasn't wailing and bailing. He took it the other way. If he's using the whole field and hitting it hard, he's going to be good. Jazz Chisholm continues to kind of struggle a little bit. Now, he was 1 for 4 in the game tonight, but hitting 178 on the season. And so is Bellinger. Bellinger now down to 191 with a 570 OPS. He took the collar tonight. He was 0 for 4. Now, I saw some comments about people who were really, really concerned with him. I still think it's early because he has a track record. Guys have cold Aprils sometimes. We saw it with Judge last year. And he had a hot spring. He had almost too hot of a spring. I think it might be a case where someone left it in spring training. Like he got too hot too fast. And now the slump, the ice cold portion of his season has hit while games count. You just hope that he turns it up in May, maybe as the weather heats up. But we have seen some good defense from Bellinger. And Trent Grisham, flexing the dad muscles. 7 home runs on the season. I'll tell you what, I haven't listened to Mike Francesa much recently, but I'm going to tune in tomorrow because he has been a Trent Grisham proponent for a while now. He uses every opportunity he can to talk about how good Trent Grisham is. And last year I was like, come on, give it a rest. The guy is dog due. But this year he's been great. And, I got to give a tip of the cap to Mike Francesa on that one. And the Yankees will head to Baltimore, who is off to a rocky start. They lost 7-0 today. And, 10-17 on the season. Off to a really, really tough start. So the Yankees will head to Baltimore and try to keep the win streak going. Gunnar Henderson struggled with an injury in spring training. He's a little bit behind the 8 ball. He's hitting .220 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Look, can you imagine if Volpe was putting up those kind of numbers through 82 at-bats? How angry fans would be? Puts things in perspective. They have no starting pitchers announced yet through the for this series. And Charlie Morton, who has long been a Yankee killer, is 0-6 with a 10.36 ERA. He's been awful. They have a Japanese pitcher named Yuki Tsugano, I think that's how you say it. He's, got 3.54 ERA. He's one of these guys who's in his mid-30s already as a rookie. They have Zach Eflin, who's made 3 starts. So I'm not sure who's going to be pitching, but they do have Felix Bautista back in the bullpen. He can be difficult. His control doesn't seem like it's all the way back. He's got 6 walks in 7 innings. Cedric Mullins, always tough. He's off to a good start, hitting .279, 6 home runs. He's got an on-base percentage of .421. But the Yankees have a chance to take advantage of a division rival who is struggling right now. These games, every single game counts, and at the end of the year, if you look back and see that you lost 2 out of 3 to a team that was 10-17 and that got them started, you're not feeling too good about it. So let's go ahead and put our foot on their throat, while they're struggling, while they're down. It sounds like Grayson Rodriguez could be out for a while. He hasn't pitched in a long time. They lost Corbin Burns. Their pitching is hittable, and their offense is off to a slow start. And don't forget, Aaron Judge, who hit a home run today and kind of broke that streak, he absolutely nukes baseballs in Baltimore every time. All right, quick word from our sponsor, which we have the video able to run this time. And, oh, yeah, by the way, on the series recap, I realized I had the Guardians logo on there. So just a mistake. It happens. Second podcast of the day. I am very tired. And we're going to hear from True Classic. I'm going to grab a drink of water, and then we'll get some final recap reactions from you guys.
How's it going, guys? I'm getting ready to hit my 7-iron, but I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about True Classic. A few of you have mentioned that it's looked like I've lost some weight this winter, and that is absolutely 100% correct. I lost about 32 pounds, and that's great. I feel great, all that stuff. But the one downside is that a lot of my clothes don't fit anymore, so it's a good thing that True Classic came along. They make extremely comfortable clothing that's great for walking. It's great for practicing your 7-iron like I'm getting ready to do. It's soft. You can wear it for all seasons. They have long sleeves, they have short sleeves, they have pants, they have shirts. Everything you would want for a comfortable fit.
Whether you're bundling up for the cold or gearing up for spring like I am, upgrade your style with clothes that actually fit right, even if you lost a bunch of weight. Just head over to trueclassic.com/stripe to save. That's trueclassic.com/stripe. Shop now and elevate your wardrobe today.
I'll warn you, my golf swing isn't too good. Nice contact, though. All in my True Classic.
All right, there we go. So, there we are. The Yankees 17-11. That's a decent start. I think the AL East is very winnable this year. The Red Sox look like they could be good. They've got some serious pitching, and obviously Bregman, good fit out there in Fenway, the way he pulls the baseball. Devers off to a slow start, but I think that the Red Sox and the Yankees are going to be the 2 teams in this division. The Rays, I'm not buying them long term. They did win today. They're 14-14. I see them as about a 500 team. They might win 85, 87 games, but I think the Yankees are going to win 90 to 93 games at this point. That's how it's looking to me. They're playing pretty well. I mean, we just didn't count on this kind of production from Ben Rice and Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, if we had known that Goldschmidt was going to be raking the way he is, I think a lot of people would have said, okay, this team is going to be really, really good. And Ben Rice hitting like Juan Soto. I mean, I think the Yankees can win this division. Jay says, watch people start glazing Volpe. As soon as he strikes out, they're going to turn on him again. You're not wrong. Ronald Paula says, the O's downfall so far has been crazy, especially with all that young talent. They do have Jackson Holliday, who is a young left-handed hitter, son of former Yankee Matt Holliday. I'm looking forward to watching him play because he got off to a really slow start last year. He didn't really do much, but he's a guy who got to the major leagues very, very fast. And, apparently he's looking pretty good this year. I haven't looked at his numbers. I haven't watched him play at all, but I've been told he looks like he's the real deal. So I'm looking forward to watching him play. Cedric Mullins is a really good hitter, and Gunnar Henderson's only a matter of time. He's a really good player. And as people like to point out, he was drafted after Anthony Volpe. Nick Monaco says the AL East is wide open this year. I can't remember the last time the division was this easy, maybe the early 2000s. Be careful what you say. Easy, I'm sure the Yankees wouldn't agree that it's easy. Every single game at this level is an enormous challenge. Raymond Felon wants to trade Devin Williams for a third baseman. Interesting. Oswaldo has had some defensive issues, especially with the throws, but he's hitting about 300 right now. So I'm okay just letting him kind of get some playing time. And he's been playing over Peraza against lefties because he's had some better at-bats. But I think Peraza is one of these guys that, he's out of options. They obviously don't want to expose him to waivers because somebody will grab him. I would not shock me if the Yankees trade him at some point involved in a package, because he's just not playing as much, right? I mean, there is value in having an elite glove, one that can play third base, shortstop, and second base. That is without question an elite skill set, especially late in games, close games, when you're not really sure about who's your closer. I mean, Devin Williams, if he becomes the closer again, I'll be surprised. I think it's going to be Weaver, especially you saw today, just the way he handles himself. He's nails. But late inning defense, it has some value. The question is, do the Yankees value it more than they value the roster spot? We'll see. Donnie Clark thinks Peraza is getting traded at the deadline. I tend to agree. I think that they're going to figure out something. An Alcantara trade, maybe. I don't know. Zion Stunna says Oswaldo is not a serviceable third baseman long-term, nor is Peraza. Both of these guys are backups. The smart move might be to get Ben Rice to learn how to play third base, but it's too early or it's too late in the year for that. I mean, the time to work on that would have been in the offseason and in spring training. So maybe next year. I did see that Arenado hit a walk-off home run the other day, but the Yankees don't want to take on that money. I'm not sure what the solution is. I mean, Lombard Jr. is tearing up in the minor leagues. I mean, is he somebody that you call up at 20 years old like Jackson Churio? I mean, it's not unheard of. We've seen the Angels call up people after just a few weeks in the minor leagues in the last couple of years. Baseball's different now. I mean, the minor leagues are... Well, let's just say college is basically like minor league baseball now, but he didn't go to college. So, he's basically a sophomore in college that would be going to the major leagues if you were to call him up. And he's still at high A, but if he starts to advance, maybe he becomes your third baseman later in the year. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I tend to think they're going to go with Oswaldo and just give it a shot. But anyway, that's where we're at right now. One more time, 2 wins in one day.
Game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
A reminder to check out the store. You see we got some new style here on this final audience reactions portion of the podcast, and you can go to NYYDesigns.shop if you're listening, and take a look at some of the stuff. We got hats, we got shirts, we got hoodies. We just added a bunch of new stuff. So, and we're going to continue to add stuff throughout the season. Dreamweaver, I'm going to have to pick up this Dreamweaver hoodie. I'm wearing the Dreamweaver t-shirt right now, but I mean, you can't tell me that's just not the perfect thing to fall asleep in if you like to fall asleep in hoodies like I do because it's warm. But anyway, check all that stuff out. It really helps the channel. Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
And we'll see ya next time.